very nice to
Hi.
meet you.
This is Jawad Hashimi, Second Secretary of Afghanistan Embassy. Please come on to the embassy.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
From the photos displayed at the embassy, we were able to get a bit of sense of Afghanistan, a country somewhat unfamiliar to many of us.
Hello, Ambassador. Very nice to meet you.
Welcome to the embassy.
Thank you. Thank
Nice
you
to
for
meet
the
you.
invitation today.
My honor.
I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like the embassy has a very welcoming atmosphere.
It's a great honor for us to receive you here and welcoming you. Let us move to our next office. We will provide some stuff for you. I'm
thank
sure you
you.
will enjoy it.
What did the ambassador prepare for us?
Please.
Wow.
As we followed the ambassador to the next room, there were many different kinds of Afghan food waiting for us.
I can see that you prepared a lot of food for us. Thank you very much. We are very honored.
Since we have a special occasion for today's program, we provided for you some cakes and cookies out of the soya flours, as well as some beans that is very popular street food in Afghanistan. And beans, we could say, it is a symbol of friendship between Afghanistan and Korea. Let me offer you some shornafot, we call it. Firstly, I'm sure you will enjoy it.
No, I can't wait.
Please, please.
Thank you.
Shornafot is said to be one of Afghanistan's signature street foods made with chickpeas and enjoyed with potatoes.
Okay.
I
And
will
then
also-
with some sauce?
Yes, it's up to you
okay.
to try some spicy or,
Not too spicy, please.
and to make it a little bit colorful, I will.
Even though it was my first time eating Afghan food, the taste felt a bit familiar.
I feel like I taste some kimchi flavor as well. Maybe it's because of the sauce.
Maybe because of the garlic,
Ah, okay. Maybe that's it.
since the sauce contains garlic, it might be because of that.
It's very tasty. I
Yes.
feel like it's a very healthy food.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Let me also offer you some cake made of soya flour. I hope it's not too big.
A cake is never too big.
Take some cake.
Thank
plus
you.
some-
After trying the food, I began to wonder even more about the story related to soybeans, the symbol of friendship between Korea and Afghanistan.
Please take some cake made of soybeans. I'm sure you will find it delicious. Good?
I think I really like the topping as well.
Yes.
And you said the cake is also made with beans.
It is flour of soybeans. Since today is our special day, to talk more about the role of bean for strengthening the relations between Afghanistan and Korea. Nowadays, soybeans and all the products that is being made out of soybeans getting very famous and popular, and I could say in all provinces of Afghanistan.
And you mentioned earlier that there was a reason why you prepared food made with beans. And we also tried to look up some information after receiving your invitation because you mentioned about the NEI project. And it was a project that started in 2003, correct?
Yes, after collapse of Taliban, since Afghanistan used to be a post-war country at that time, a great friend of Afghanistan, a Korean American doctor, Mr. Steve Kwon, has launched a project of planting the seeds of hope, I mean soybeans, in Afghanistan. By his tough job that he has done in Afghanistan and his team. Nowadays, the soya cultivation in Afghanistan is getting very famous and popular in almost, I could say, more than 30 provinces of Afghanistan. Dr. Kwan selected one of the major sectors in Afghanistan to support mainly children and mothers in need for protein. For this purpose, we appreciate his efforts on his noble job he has done in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, fatigued from a long, drawn-out war that started in the late 1970s. In 2001, war comes to Afghanistan again. Dr. Stephen Sunyoung Kwan, a nutritional scientist who was working at a U.S. food conglomerate, hears of the tragedies of the Afghanistan conflict in 2003. Feeling a strong calling to save women and children suffering from malnutrition, he leaves his comfortable life behind and heads to Afghanistan.
NEI의 대표를 맡고 있는 권순영입니다. 저는 조직적으로 누구를 돕는다든가 그러한 일을 한 적이 없는 평시민에 불과한 사람이었었는데요. 아프가니스탄에서 그렇게 수많은 사람들이 영양실조를 많이 죽고 있는데 남의 일보듯 이렇게 하는 것이 과연 좋은가? 그런데 마음속에 좀 울림이 왔고 좀 부담감이 생겼습니다. 그래서 현지 답사를 제가 2003년도 올해 처음으로 하게 됐고요.
Certain that soybeans have the potential to eradicate poverty in Afghanistan. He founds Nutrition and Education International, NEI. Officially, they start the soybean cultivation project in Afghanistan. In 2004, they succeed in a bean cultivation experiment. In 2011, the volume of soybean production increases enough for the project to be self-funding, leading to more production and consumption of soybeans across the country.
콩은 아주 고단백 식품으로서 어떤 두 발효하고 견줄 수가 없는 아주 특별한 작물이고요. 그것이 이제 한국의 세계의 중주국입니다.
Creating hope that malnutrition can be eradicated and creating job opportunities in Afghanistan. Free soybean meal programs in refugee camps and orphanages. Programs to strengthen the economic power of women. Strengthening education to maximize the agricultural and leadership capacity of Afghan teenagers.
30만 톤 생산하고 소비함으로 말미암아 2030년까지 영양실조를 해결하는 그런 비전을 갖고 있습니다. 아마도 아프가니스탄은 콩을 통해서 영양실조를 해결한 한국 밖에서는 최초의 국가가 될 가능성이 아주 많습니다. 저희들이 이룰 수 있다라고 믿고 열심히 일을 하고 있습니다.
Soybeans are new seeds of hope planted in Afghanistan.
He launched a project in Afghanistan and ran a project for the best of Afghan people. And to acknowledge and appreciate his efforts, we are on the process to receive a medal by His Excellency the President to somehow appreciate his efforts, and through this appreciation we also would like to appreciate the efforts of Korean people for providing funding and budget for implementing this project.
I understand that soybeans were not really a familiar item for people in Afghanistan at that time. How are the people liking it now? The project started in 2003, so it's been well over a decade now.
Yes, this phenomenon was pretty new for Afghan people, but nowadays it's getting very common and popular. There are about 14 recipes that's being made from these beans, like soya milk, soya flour, and since 2018, WFP is responsible for most of the cultivation and promotion of the soybeans in Afghanistan. Nowadays, there are about 6 factories in 6 provinces of Afghanistan. Most of the items that is being produced by these factories are soya milk and soya flour. It means how much the interest is, how much the people are getting interested for the production out of the soybeans nowadays in Afghanistan.
Agriculture takes up about 20 to 25% of Afghanistan's GDP, and it is one of the prominent industries in your country. And I'm wondering if Korea and Afghanistan are sharing or transferring any knowledge regarding the agricultural sector.
Luckily, we have a close collaboration between Afghanistan and Korean entities. Sometimes we have sharing knowledge and experience through universities. For example, like some students in the University of Hongkyong, many they are busy with smart agriculture engineering, as well as we have a close collaboration between the respected entities in Afghanistan and ministries with the Semal Endong movement here in Korea. We had a group of some villagers from the Parwan province here to take some lessons from the Korean friends here in Seoul. These are the successful projects that we would like to work for, that we would like to enhance such a collaboration and engagement of Korea in Afghanistan.
What are some other studies that Afghanistan students here in Korea are pursuing other than the subjects that you mentioned?
We have about 50 Afghan students that are studying here in Korea in various universities, including Seoul. We have some students also in KDI. Most of them are studying in policy and management. About 8 people are there. IT, international relations, smart agriculture engineering, physics, or some other major fields. We cannot ignore the role of human capital for the development or stability and also prosperity of a nation in a country. For that, I would like to offer my message of appreciation to the government of Korea as well as to the Korean people.
Currently, dozens of Afghan students are studying at high-level education institutes in Korea. They're studying in a diverse range of fields, including Korean education, the humanities and social sciences, engineering, and natural sciences. Now they can be found all over Korea. The Korean government is providing scholarships to attract more Afghan students to Korea. On October 1st this year, for Chuseok, a few Afghan students studying in Korea visited the embassy. This was to deliver a plaque of appreciation to Ambassador Atarud, who has been greatly supporting the Afghan students studying in Korea.
So I was interested to know how these people in this country change their country and change their situation from a dependent country to independent economically. From the knowledge I got from Korea, I can convey this knowledge to my people, as well as how to coordinate this aid to be effective international aid. So it will be helpful for...
Just my major is agriculture engineering. Agriculture is really a lifeblood for my people, because agriculture creating job for my people, as well as agriculture contributing for our GDP. I came here to learn and copy all of these things and come to my country.
We hope to see these students become bridgeways between Korea and Afghanistan based on their experiences here.
They are a very special group for us. They would be ambassadors for sharing knowledge, changes in Afghanistan, renovations in their practical and their professional life.
So now let's move on to talk about some other projects based in Afghanistan. I was told that there's an educational institute or training institute sponsored by the Korean government there.
Yes, there is an institute called AKTVI that was established and reconstructed by the Korean support in 2004. It is one of the advanced institutes in Afghanistan that offers and provides very advanced training programs by the support of Korean experts in collaboration with the Ministry of Labor of Afghanistan. And more than 80% of the trained people there in this institute, they got able to provide job in the market quickly.
AKVTI, Afghan-Korea Vocational Training Institute. 2002, the institute is launched as part of a KOIKA project. 2005, the institute opens in the Afghan capital of Kabul. It was established to increase employment and to support Afghanistan's industrial development. There are 6 departments at AKVTI: construction, computers, electricity, plumbing, vehicles, and sewing. 700 vocational trainees graduate every year. From English education to startups, it offers a diverse range of educational programs.
And by this, they will create a change in their daily life, as well as would be able to feed their families in a very good manner.
So it will contribute to the betterness of society.
Indeed, one of the main causes behind the crime is joblessness. If we have a society that they could find a proper job for them, I'm sure the level of crimes would be very low in the society. And for providing a very suitable work or job opportunity for the citizens, such an institute would have a very tangible and vital rules for decreasing the level of the crimes in a society.
I think today I've come to learn a lot about bilateral efforts made by Korea and Afghanistan in the fields of education and agriculture. If you're planning any projects to boost even more joint efforts, please do share them with us.
We would like to more invest on human capital. We would like to invest more on capacity building programs, human resources program, and also to attract and grab most of the scholarships, most of the training programs, most of the knowledge sharing and experience exchange programs between Afghanistan and Korea. I'm sure education is the main key to have a prosperous and developed society, nation in a country.
Well, thank you very much, Ambassador. I think our conversation today was a good example of how joint efforts by Korea and Afghanistan can serve as a stepping stone for the well-being of the future generations of both countries.
I hope we have at the next future, near future, a peaceful Afghanistan, a prosperous Afghanistan with energetic and dynamic population and citizens for the upcoming bright future.
Thank you, Ambassador, for answering our questions and sharing your insight with us and also preparing this wonderful food.
Thank you for coming here at the embassy and giving us the chance of sharing our thoughts with you and your honorable audience.
Hope to see you again soon.
Sure. Thank you very much. It was an opportunity for me to share my thoughts as well as my feelings. I'm waiting for the next interview. I hope we could do it in the next future. Thank you, Arirang. Thank you for your distinguished team members.